So we've had a very interesting period in the region. Obviously, government sector's coming to the market first, and as that has diversified to the private sector, we've been very fortunate to be involved in a lot of these transactions. I think the biggest focus of us has been actually mainly Saudi and the UAE, building our teams on the ground, especially in Saudi. We've had a lot of headcount and grown our business there substantially in the last 2 years. And those teams are now very much in the ecosystem. And being in the ecosystem, you get to understand what's moving, what's evolving. We're very fortunate to do the Nice One IPO, which was the first e-commerce IPO in Tadawul at the end of last year. And I think the focus for us remains continue to build connectivity and credibility in these markets, which I think we're doing incredibly well. So hopefully as we continue to demonstrate that, we continue to be at the forefront of new opportunities and new sectors that come to the market. So I think, look, clearly we're in an extremely interesting time across the world, not just the region. How we're going to navigate that, I think, depends on policies between the US, China, Europe. It's a much bigger conversation, but I think, clearly oil is a very important determining factor for the region. Right now, oil is kind of holding the 60 level. I think our house view is around the 50, 60, which I think creates a pretty good environment for markets to continue to evolve. In terms of our ability to ensure resilience, I think what we try and focus on is bring high quality companies to the market with sustainable business models. So for example, we recently brought a healthcare group to market in Saudi last year, Al Musa Healthcare, very defensive, very critical infrastructure. I think we look to continue to build on examples like that of bringing those sorts of companies to the market. But as a whole, when the market is where it is, right now, the window isn't open. So no matter what we try and do, relative valuation is incredibly important, and investor participation in stable markets is incredibly important. So the most important thing that needs to happen from here is stability and certainty as to how the world moves forward, given the craziness around tariffs at the moment. So I think the most important thing has really been market performance has done incredibly well. So the last 3 years that this ECM market has been incredibly active in the world, we've seen very strong market performance. Now clearly, where we are today is an aberration. Will it continue? I have no idea. But we have a very strong pipeline. I think most banks have an incredibly strong pipeline. And that pipeline is still intact. Nothing has changed until we see the end of this current scenario with regards to global markets. So we've seen a very strong resurgence of companies. Now, I remember 3-4 years ago, the government started the IPOs. The most important factor right now in regards to companies coming to the market is, especially in Saudi, where we're seeing an incredibly active market, is access to capital for growth opportunities. So a lot of the companies that we're talking to are looking to grow phenomenally, and they need to tap equity capital markets for that perspective.